So, importance of decentralization, right? Okay, there are 6 points, and let me tell you before I begin something important. Okay, few points of importance you will find common, which you have already understood as points of importance of delegation. Because already I have explained you delegation is a part of decentralization, so definitely few points have to be common. But here the names of those points are little different. Okay, so that is why I prepared separate code in that case. Okay, I just picked the main terms and then I prepared the code, if you remember. But here, just to create the difference, I am keeping a unique code. Okay, the 6 points are there. These are not there in the set sequence. Okay, I have changed the sequence. In your book you may find a different sequence. I have changed the sequence for creating the code. So unique code is going to come. Fine, it has to be a funny one. Okay, I just write it down. So our code is Queen is running for better management. It has to be funny, like I told you. Queen has nothing to do with this, but even then I have picked that code. You'll have to imagine a situation that there is a queen, she is unhappy with the mismanagement. Now she is running and she is running for better management. Understood? Okay. So how this code is going to work here, let's see. This Q stands for quick decision making. This I stands for develops initiative among subordinates. This R stands for relief to top management. F stands for facilitates growth. B stands for better control. And M stands for develops managerial talent for future. Understood? So by this single code, you can remember all the 6 points of importance of decentralization. Queen is running for better management. Alright. Now let's have discussion about all these points one by one in detail. Okay, so let's start with quick decision making. Already I have explained you about it. Okay, see, you will have to compare one organization which is exercising decentralization with the another organization which is exercising centralization. Okay, suppose there is organization A, it is exercising centralization, and organization B is exercising decentralization. So in this organization, what happens, for all the decisions, lower level and middle level managements have to wait. Okay, say for example, production manager has to take the decision of buying raw material. Okay, earlier supplier has got some problem, now they have to decide from whom they need to buy. But he has no authority to decide. He will inform the top level management. Now the top level management is handling and busy with something more important, so he is not giving time. He is saying, okay, let's see, we'll see about it, we'll talk about it. Okay, so now it is becoming some kind of impossible situation for this production manager to run the production because raw material is running out. Okay, so quick decision is not happening. Fine, maybe possible that the production manager at that point of time had a very proper deal with some supplier, but by the time the decision came to decide to take the raw material from the same supplier, then the supplier got busy with some other party. Fine, so sometimes the opportunities are missed just because of the delaying process. Fine, so what happens here in this centralized organization, the quick decision does not take place. Okay, the decisions are delayed and are taken after a long time, right? And just because of that, some kind of good opportunities are missed. Okay, but if we see the same example in the organization in which decentralization is exercised, then what would have happened? Already the production manager is empowered to take decision. He has power to decide from whom he has to take raw material. Okay, so no problem. He just thought something in the benefit of the organization. He decided that, and now the production is happening. Okay, it did not stop, no opportunity was missed. Fine. So that is what the difference. So decentralization is important. Why? Because in this, quick decision making takes place. Understood? Okay, whether it is supervisor or middle level manager, actually when we see the hierarchy, I just plot a simple diagram to make you understand. Okay, there is top level management, middle level management and lower level. In actual, what happens, there are various middle level managers, there are various lower level managers, and there are various top level managers as well. Okay, so like we discussed in the scalar chain, okay, if we see that middle level managers are always more. So if something has to be decided at lower level, then the lower level manager needs approval from the middle level managers. All the people will forward the information to his superior. Okay, and then the information will come downside in the similar process. So it takes time, lot of time. In practically it takes a lot of time. So that is what the problem. And information is also distorted. Okay, see, I just give you an example. If you pass a single message to your friend, then if he has to pass on the same message to another friend, then definitely there will be a big change in the information. Okay, similarly, whatever message was given to his immediate superior, that forwarded in a different manner. Okay, and his superior forwarded in a different manner. So maybe possible at top level management the information did not reach with the same sense and meaning behind that proposal, decision, whatever the plan is. Okay, whatever the matter is. So information is distorted as well in this case of centralization. Okay, so in decentralization, information is not distorted. One advantage, okay, you do not have to wait for the consultants from the higher authorities. You can take the decisions, okay, and the decisions can be taken very quickly. Understood the point? So that is why decentralization is important. Now let's move on to another point of importance. So another point is develops initiatives among subordinates. See what happens under decentralization. Already we have understood the decision making power is distributed. Okay, so middle managers and lower level managers, what happens when some power of taking decision in the favor of organization is given to them, then it boosts up their confidence. Okay, they feel more confident, fine, and they become more prepared to take the decisions and to face the challenges. Okay, it develops somewhere initiatives among them, fine. Now they'll have to depend on their own judgment. Okay, so just because of that they develop some kind of better skills of taking decisions. Okay, they apply all the innovations, creativity and several other better ways to complete the same kind of task, because now they are free to decide and free to do the work in their own manner, because the organization wants results from them and they are free to do everything whatever they feel like doing, whatever problems, solution they think about, whatever problem they are encountering, they need to think solution accordingly. Okay, because sometimes what happened, the problem is experienced by you and the person who is sitting at the top level, he does not know the ground reality, so he cannot suggest you better decision. However, you can think in the better way. The same happens here in this case with the employees. The employees know what are the ground realities, they can decide and take better decision in that case. Understood the point? Okay, so this decentralization means giving them power to decide. Fine. Somewhere develops initiative among them. Okay, and that initiative somewhere pushes them to find more effective and efficient ways to perform the same activities which are beneficial for the organization. Understood the point? Now let's move on to another point of importance. So another point is relief to top management. Actually, in the centralized organization, what happens? The top level manager has to be very much alert and cautious. All the time he has to keep a very close watch on his middle and lower level managers. He'll have to observe all the tasks very minutely. And just because of that, the routine checking, observance, supervision, okay, that increases his workload. Fine. And just because of that, he is not able to focus on most crucial matters which are concerned to expansion, growth, and other important decisions related to the survival of the organization. Okay, so by decentralization, what happens? Such kind of things are mitigated. Okay, decentralization reduces the workload of the top level managers. Okay, they get relief. They are free from routine checking activity. Okay, because they want result. Fine, they have given the power, but remember, they have given the limited and required power to their middle and lower level managers. Fine, so they are not very much tensed about it because they know that what is their authority, what is the limit of their authority. They will be taking decision. I am not concerned about it. I have to just focus on the most crucial matters. Okay, so somewhere process of decentralization gives relief to top level managers. Now they can focus on making other policies, strategies, and the plan for modification, okay, expansion, diversification, etc. Lot more things they can plan. Okay, but now they are free from the routine time consuming activities and operations. Understood? Okay, now let's move on to another point of importance. So the next point is facilitates growth. See what happens, like we saw in the example under decentralization, what happens? The power is distributed at various levels in all the departments as well. So say for example, there are 4 departments in one organization. You can take the example of production, sales, purchase, and finance. Okay, now all the departments have been given the authority to take decision related to their departments. All the activities can be planned and organized, okay, according to their manner. Now all the departmental heads and all the people working in those departments try their level best, okay, because there is one thing that takes place in the organization, that is departmental competition. Now all the departments are there in the race, okay, that is a kind of motivation for all of those. Fine, they are just trying to keep themselves ahead from other departments, okay, and just because of that they are putting their best efforts, right? And the best efforts by every employee in all the departments somewhere collectively increase the productivity and efficiency of the organization. Okay, now the organization is becoming more productive, more effective, more efficient, and all this somewhere helps an organization to expand. Okay, the organization can move ahead. Earlier it was one unit, now it can expand to many other units because their manpower is working at their best levels, right? And that was possible just because of the decentralization. So decentralization is somewhere facilitating growth, means making the growth achievement easier. Fine. Okay, now let's move on to another point. So the next point is better control. See what happens by exercising decentralization, it becomes easy to have better control on all the activities of the organization. How? I just tell you. Okay, when the authority is distributed in all the departments, then all the departments are given the targets as well. Okay, their responsibility is fixed, their duties are fixed, everything is fixed. Okay, So now their performance can be evaluated on the basis of the results, right? What output they are giving. Fine. See, the top level managers very first decide the objectives for the overall organization. Thereafter, these objectives are divided into small objectives, or we better call them sub-objectives, and thereafter these objectives are conveyed to concerned departments. Okay, for example, the production department had the objective of this year to produce 10,000 units. Fine. Now it becomes very much easy for the top level manager to evaluate his performance and the performance of the entire department. If they are able to achieve the result or nearby that is okay. But if they are not able to achieve the result, or there is a huge difference between the actual output and the standard output, then definitely the problem is there. Okay, and the continuous feedback of the operations can also be taken. Okay, so here accountability is fixed. Now from whom he will be taking the feedback? Obviously from the managers, right? He need not have control on all the people working in that department. He will just contact the departmental head because he is having more authority. Okay, so he is more accountable. Definitely feedback can be taken about the operation from him and results can be known, and for unfavorable result he can be held responsible, and just because of that the person also becomes vigilant and he starts working in the same manner accordingly, right? And just to have better control, there are few techniques. In modern era, a lot of techniques have been developed to have better control. If you have decentralization in your organizations, okay, a kind of technique like balances scorecard and MIS, which is also known as management information system. Okay, I'll explain you what happens in these two. About this management information system, MIS it is called, you people must have learned in your 11th standard in accountancy. There was one chapter, computerized accounting. Okay, so in that you must have discussed that. What happens for the management? The top level management creates a kind of software system in which everything gets fed. Okay, let's take the example of human resource department. Human resource department is having a task of appointing the employees, okay, training them and providing them promotions and evaluating their performance, okay, and to decide their salaries and hikes, etc. Fine. So human resource department has been instructed to maintain information system. Okay, what he'll do, what kind of software will be developed, and he will feed all the information related to all the employees in that software. Whether it is about salary, when he joined, okay, when his salary was hiked, up to what manner, what were his achievement, what are the details related to his address and other details, etc. Okay, now the top level management, whenever needs such kind of information, he will simply get all the information from that software. Okay, so that is known as the management information system. So that I give the example related to one department, but that can be established for many other departments. Okay, so in that way, keeping the control on the all activities of the organization and all the operations of the departments becomes easy. Okay, now let's have discussion about the balances scorecard. Okay, so it can also happen that the top level management provides some kind of cards to departmental heads, okay, and he has already fixed some kind of targets, okay, and they have to see up to what level the target has been completed and how much amount of jobs and tasks are balanced. Okay, so they'll have to prepare balanced scorecard, and top level management, whenever he wants to see, he can see all the balanced scorecards, and through that he can come to know how the operation is going on, how the activities are happening, whether the particular department is achieving its target or not, the people are performing well or not, the performance of entire department, the people who are working there can be evaluated very easily. Okay, so by exercising the system of decentralization, it becomes easy to have control on the activities of the all departments. Understood the point? Now let's move on to the last point of importance. So last point is develops managerial talent for future. See, because of the decentralization, what happens? The employees get a chance to perform all those activities, okay, which are in actual the task of the top level officials. Okay, so if we see from the organizational point of view, so organization is using decentralization as a means to develop those skills in their employees so that they can train them for future. Okay, by this what happens? The employee becomes trained, he becomes better employee than the employee who is not exercising those activities. Okay, now in future if the organization is going to have expansion of their units, so the higher positions of the top level managers can directly be filled by these people. Okay, say for example there is one general manager and there is one assistant manager. Okay, and general manager has given lot of authority to assistant manager. Okay, now assistant manager is being prepared. Okay, he is also handling the task of the general manager. Okay, because now distribution of power has happened, now they are self-dependent, they are taking their own decisions in their limited area. Okay, so in that way assistant manager has become more skillful, he has become more trained, he has become more prepared, confident to take the more and challenging responsibility. Now if the organization opens one more unit, then this assistant manager is sent there and he will be kept as general manager there. Okay, because now the organization can rely on him, because this has prepared one manager for future by giving him the authority. Okay, one more thing, by exercising the decentralization, organization can come to know one more thing as well, that who is eligible for that and who is not, who is deserving one and who is not. Say for example the powers were given to 4 assistant manager but only one was promoted to that level. Why? Because it was proved that one was better than the other 3, right? So this is also a kind of benefit of decentralization. By having the decentralization process, you have come to know who can be successful in handling the future position and who cannot be. Okay, so in that way also it is beneficial for the organization. So it develops managerial talent for future. Understood the point? Alright friends, so it was all about the decentralization today. We have finished this portion of organizing chapter. Very soon I'll be meeting you with the another concept related to the same chapter. Till then, thank you. Bye-bye.